Hey there. If you're watching this video, it's probably because you're trying to figure out the easiest way to get more Google reviews, and you're in luck because by the end of this video, you are going to know how to get them in your sleep. So let's take it from the top. We're going to go through this in a couple different phases. The first is the no integration, very easy to get started way. Then we're going to talk about slight integration, and then I'm going to talk about full-blown integration, where you can have Paige getting notified of new customers, and then Paige will notify another tool to go and actually ask for the review when it's time. So we're going to keep it simple to start. When you sign up for Paige, you get a review request link. You'll find it under Automation Review Management, and then right here where it says your review request link, as well as on the Reviews tab. This will typically look like this, and you can completely control all of the words and what style buttons are used, and what happens when you click on different buttons if you click over to the Reviews tab. But this is what you want to get in front of as many of your customers as possible, because this is how you're going to get people to leave reviews easily on your Google business profile, and ideally one of the SEO optimized ones that Paige suggests for your customers. So if you already have communication tools in place for your business that can automatically send messages to your customers after a job is completed or an appointment is over or whatever it might be, then what you'll want to do is just simply put this URL that Paige gives you in those existing communication tools, so that like what you already have in place is doing all the heavy lifting. You just have to put this link inside of them, along with text saying something like, "How do we do? Please leave us a review." Let's say that you don't have that. That's okay. Just send this link to yourself and remember to text it to your customers whenever you're done a job, or put it in your email signature along with text that says, "Please leave us a review." Just asking for reviews will help you get significantly more. On top of this, in the Reviews tab, you can also purchase an NFC review card. So if you're in front of your customers often, what you can do is buy one of these. It comes pre-programmed, and what it allows you to do is ask your customer to tap it when the time is right. So they take their phone and they tap it, and it brings up your Paige review request link on their phone so that they can easily leave you that review. So there's a couple ways that you can get reviews with no integration at all needed. But of course, what's manual is often forgotten. So let's talk about a little bit more integration that you can do to get this started. Let's talk about the automated review request campaign feature inside Paige. So Paige has the ability to ask customers of yours for reviews, then wait an amount of time, and if they did not leave you one, then ask them again for a review. And you can completely customize the message for each of those requests, as well as send these to your customers however you want, and also add your customers to these campaigns however you want. We're going to start with the simplest workflow to start. The first step is that you need to add a customer to a campaign. And when you click Learn More, you'll see the options. The first one is to enroll via email. And so we built out a system so that if you copy this URL that Paige gives you, and then you go to your email, let's say that you're a roofer and you're sending an invoice to your customer because you completed the job, or maybe your office manager is. What you'll do is, just like you were doing before where you're sending them this email, what you'll now do is simply add in the BCC field of this email the email address that Paige gave you. And now when you hit the option to send that email, Paige is going to see that email because it was BCC'd on it, and see who that email was sent to, and then enroll that person in the review request campaign. Right? So that did not require any integration work at all, but you simply BCC'd Paige, so Paige could see who you emailed, and then Paige is now going to enroll them in this campaign. We're going to come back around to this option as the next step. So now that we enrolled that person in the campaign, Paige is going to wait for a set amount of time, which you can control, and then it needs to send the first message. So that's something where you're saying, "Thank you for choosing Riz's Burgers. We hope you had a great experience," and so on. And then a hyperlink to your review request link from Paige. But before you can send that message, you need to give Paige the ability to actually email your customer on your behalf. So what you'll do is click configure here where it says message sending settings required. And the easiest option is to say ask via email. And what this allows Paige to do, if you click open Google connection link, is send emails on your behalf so that when it's time for you to ask a customer for a review, Paige actually sends that email from your own Google powered email, so your Gmail or your Google Workspace email, to your customer with the message inside Paige, so that your customer will recognize the email because it's coming from you. They'll trust it. They'll open it. They'll click it. They'll leave you a review, right? This is much better than using shared email sender platforms because all of those inevitably go to spam. And if your messages are going to spam, then you're never going to get reviews. So take the time to connect your own Google email account here so that you can get as many reviews as possible through email. And if you need someone else at your company, or maybe you're an agency and you need your client to connect their email, then click this copy link and send them the URL that is pasted on your device. And that's going to make it very easy for them to simply connect their email account to your Paige account. The other benefit of doing this is that if your customer replies, then you're actually going to then see it in your inbox and you can then reply to them so that your customers don't feel like you just ignored them when they responded. Also, if you click the sent folder in your email account, you'll be able to see all the emails that Paige has sent out. Okay, so once you connect your Google account, and I'll go through that now so you can see how easy it is. You'll see that showing as connected to my email, and I'm going to close this, and the campaign is ready to go. So I BCC'd my customer. Paige is waiting half an hour. It's now going to send the first message from my own email to the person I BCC'd. Then it's going to wait. I think the standard is 2 days. And if Paige does not think that person left a review, it's going to send a follow-up asking them for a review again, using a different message that is configured inside your Paige account. And so that is the next easiest version to start getting more reviews. The only thing that you need to do is remember to BCC your customers when you want to ask them for a review. But let's say that you just want to truly get reviews while you sleep and not even think about it. That's when the open integration that Paige has comes into play. So for this part to work, you need to have a business management software in place, whether that's a point of sale, an appointment scheduling tool, an accounting platform, or maybe even a Google Sheet. You just need something that controls the flow of customers throughout your organization and knows when a job is complete or a transaction is done so that you can send to Paige your customer's contact details at the exact time that you would want to ask them for a review. So maybe once a sale is complete or a job is done, you want to ask them for a review a day later, then you would just go into here and set the delay to be that amount of time, but trigger that customer to get into Paige exactly when that sale happens. And I'm going to show you now how you can do that using automation tools like Zapier, Make, and N8N, or sometimes your management software might have the native webhook features built into it. So let's dive in. If we click on this customer added to campaign option again, you'll see there's this option for enroll with integration. Basically, this allows any other software in the world to communicate with Paige and give Paige your customer's contact information, whether it's a phone number or an email address. You can send it into Paige and Paige will smartly route it accordingly. So I put together an example Google form to show you how this works. And this is replacing the example of maybe using QuickBooks or Jobber or any appointment scheduling tool, whatever it is that manages your customer's contact information and your jobs. I'm just going to use this for simplicity. And what I'm going to do is put in the email address of a customer and my business's slug. And in case you're wondering, your business slug is the first part of this enroll with email option. And I'm going to put in a phone number. And it doesn't matter what format you put the phone number in, because Paige is going to figure out where this business is located and then adjust the phone number to be in the format that all SMS texting systems need it in, so that you don't need to worry about handling that logic on your end. So I'm going to submit this data. And in my test scenario, this would be equivalent to me completing a job and just using this as a trigger, basically, to tell Paige, hey, this person is ready to be asked for a review. So I'm going to submit that. And here inside Zapier, you can see that I used a Google form as the action step inside our account. And this could have been replaced with anything. Like you could have said, then instead of a form, make it so that, if you're using set more appointments or appointment core or service titan or Jira or service trader, any of these, right? That when a certain action happened, then do the next step, which is to let Paige know about that customer. So in this case, for the example, because I don't use any of those, I just use a Google form, and I'm saying whenever the form is submitted, then take the next step, which is to send a post webhook to Paige. And so what you do inside your automation tool is you set up the webhook action as the next event, you make it a post, and then you put in the URL that Paige gives you. So if I show you, this is this URL here. You set the payload type to JSON, and then you need to put in here the data variables that you're passing in to Paige in the format that Paige is expecting them, which is slug, and this is your business identifier. So if you recall, I put in the business slug here. That's why I did it, so that I could pass it through to Paige to basically tell Paige which businesses is for. I put in the data variable for emails, and then you can see here it's pulling the email from the form submission. And I put in a data variable for phone, and again, I pulled it in from the form submission. And then the next thing is I created a header, which is x-api-key. And then here I grab the API key from my Paige account by going to settings and then integrations. And it's the API key that you generate at the top. To make that more clear, you go over to settings and then integrations. And if you haven't generated your API key yet, then you do that. And then you copy it and then paste it as your X API key value. And then what happens now is that whatever your trigger software and action was, so maybe it was booking completed or invoice sent or marked as closed, or whatever the action is that your software provides inside Zapier or Maker N8N, you set as the trigger, and then the action is the post to Paige. And so what this would do is whenever, in our case, this form is submitted, it is going to enroll this customer into our campaign so it can start waiting for whatever delay you set before it sends the first message. Okay, let's talk about sending now, because if you want to send messages through another system that you already have in place that's already sending messages to your customers, maybe it's Twilio for SMS or any other SMS tool, then what you want to use is our integrated platform as the sender. So I'm going to click Edit next to Sender Settings and open up this Open Integration Configuration. This is where you can have Paige now be the logic of figuring out what to say to your customers and when. And so we've enrolled customers now through an integration, and now we're going to show you how to message through an integration. What you need to do is set up another automation step using your automation tool, whether Zapier, N8N, or Make. And some tools actually will natively support this. So actually, if you have a Twilio number, which is the most popular SMS tool out there, you can actually just put the webhook from there inside Paige without using an automation tool. But let me show you how we configured this in our account. What we set up first is an action, which is to catch a hook. Because whenever the time comes for Paige to go and ask somebody for a review, and this is configured, Paige is going to message this webhook and give information, including the slug, phone, emails, and message fields. Like those are the ones that you put in on a contact. So those are the ones that you're going to have to send out as well. Then what we need to do is set up the action. In this case, we use Twilio for SMS. So I set up the action in here to be Twilio for SMS. And what we had to do was pick the number that we already got verified for sending SMSs in the US. We have to put the to number in. So this is what's coming from Paige. Then we put in the message variable that came from Paige so that you send the right one. So if you're sending the follow-up message to them, you're sending them the follow-up message instead of the first message, or vice versa. And then here we're setting to send large messages so that you don't basically get cut off at the 160 character range. And that's it. Then you publish it. And then the way that this works, if you have the full integration done, is that now using any other tool in the world, you're sending your customers' data into Paige by using this integration option. Paige is doing the delay, figuring out how you want to ask them for a review, whether it's through email or SMS, and it'll always default to SMS if you have a webhook here and a phone number is present on your contact. If they're not, then it's going to fall back to email if you have one connected. And then Paige is going to notify the webhook that you set here to send the first message when the time comes for them, as well as to follow up with them through that integration if they did not leave a review. So here you can see Paige really acts as the core of the review request process, but you can feed contacts into Paige however you want, and then you can have Paige contact them however you want. And then the next thing that'll happen is that as you're getting this new flood of reviews, Paige is going to seamlessly handle the responses for all of them. So you can configure Paige to either draft replies and wait for you to approve them, or automatically respond or reply using a template, or just ignore it fully. And so here you can set that for each star rating. And if you do unfortunately get a 1, 2, or 3-star review, Paige is going to automatically flag that with Google to improve your odds of getting that taken down, because the faster you flag it and the more people that flag it, the more likely it is that Google will actually remove your bad reviews. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any questions at all about how to set up the automated review campaigns, please use the live chat in the bottom left of Paige and let us know what your business management software is. And we can try to give you a step-by-step guide that'll walk you through how you can connect it to Paige so that you can get reviews while you sleep. Thank you so much.